There's been 14 presidential elections since Dr. King's assassination. 14 presidential election cycles since 1968. Can you please name the one that benefited black people? And if we cannot name the election cycle out of the past 14 presidential elections since Dr. King's assassination, if we can't name the presidential administration that changed something systemically for the American African people, why then are we emotionally rallying our people up to be exploited once again?
Well, it's politics time again. Are you gonna vote now?
What a go on, my lions? You know, say the presidential election season is in the air and all kind of foolishness is running rampant in my B1 community. I was hanging out at a barbecue this weekend and the topic came up about who the better president will be between the two major parties. Most of the folks there have their degrees and believe these degrees somehow imparted brilliance into their brain. When I ask these people whether it's the men or the woman why they are voting a particular way, the general answers are like this. The other side is evil. The other candidate is not presidential. The other candidate is a woman. They're going to vote for her because she's a woman. She's black, and therefore they're going to vote for her. Project 25 this, Project 25 that, or that a particular nominee is a good businessman, so therefore he'll be a good president. When asked about what platform their preferred candidate is running on, you generally hear crickets, brethren. They don't know what going on. See? They don't know a damn thing. And hence why I'm making this video.
I believe in voting when I have a reason to vote.
Okay, that's good.
That my vote is so important and valuable to me, I do not waste it. Mm-hmm. I don't vote because I can. Mm-hmm. I would liken that to walking into a supermarket and buying stuff just because you have money. Who walks into a Galleria mall and starts buying things just because they have a credit card, just because they have a checkbook, just because they have money? I think we would call that the definition of insanity. So telling black people just because they can, to me, is ridiculousness. And we also have to keep in mind as well, Baba David, that the main strategy used to influence black people to vote is fear. That is how they get black people out to vote. The number one propaganda point that you hear being pushed by the Democratic Party plantation slaves is if you don't vote for Kamala Harris, Trump will win. That's not a reason to vote. I'm going to vote because Kamala Harris has promised to build industries in the black community that is going to give our people jobs so our young men can stop killing each other in the name of crime and financial desperation. I'm going to vote for Kamala Harris because she's going to pass legislation to deal with the femicide in our black community. Everything from sexual trafficking, everything to the brutality and slaughter of defenseless black women, to the amount of black women who are dying while they're trying to give birth to their children, okay, as well as the high infant mortality rate, which is one of the highest in the developed world. I'm gonna vote for Kamala Harris because she promises to radically transform and reconstruct the special education to prison pipeline. In other words, I will gladly cast the vote for Kamala Harris, or I will gladly cast the vote for former President Trump if they give me some food on my plate. But to ask me to sit down and give me a fork and a spoon and act like I'm enjoying a meal when there's no food on my plate is absolutely insanity. Give me a reason to vote. I do not vote because I can, and I will not vote out of fear.
But Lions, I don't care if you believe in voting. I don't care if you believe voting is important or not. But if you pick a side, shouldn't you have concrete reasons on why you pick that side? Eh? You think you'd have some reasons, right? The only reasons that one should matter when voting is the policies that the candidate is running on. Politicians lie all the time, brethren. They say stupid things. They may hang around people you don't like or think has bad attitude towards you and people who look like you. And I say to that, so what? What is the platform they are running on? And does it align with your own belief? That is the only question you should be asking yourself.
Who is the best devil that you can actually cast your vote for? Looking at,
I do not engage in the lesser of the two evils narrative. I do not engage.
So how do we participate?
Evil, it does not come in degrees.
How do we participate?
Evil is evil.
How do we participate in the election, or how do we participate in what affects?
I tell you what we should do.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very slow. I tell you what we should do.
Mm-hmm.
We have 3 months. 3 months.
Yes.
What black people should do right now is organize ourselves into a powerful, all black national union. Our votes should be tied together with all of our mutual consent, and we must pledge to one another that we're voting one, and we demand an audience with both candidates, our own convention. Because we are not Republicans or Democrats, we are Africans.
Yes.
They will come and give us an audience in our community.
There you go.
And we will ask the questions that are relevant.
I would agree with that.
Former
Yes.
President Trump.
I
would agree with that.
We will argue, we will reason, and we will choose a candidate, and that candidate will get every single black vote who has joined our national black political union, and we will promise them
Yes.
before November 5th,
Yes, Dr.
you are
Omar.
going to win because of black people. And if I deliver, will not get a single vote the next election.
Yeah.
That is how you do business. Not telling black people to vote out of fear, not telling black people to vote out of identity politics.
No more lions. You cannot sit on your behind spending hours each day on social media and unwilling to go to the websites of these folks on the ballot. All you have to do is go read a couple sentences about what the candidates plan to do for you, what they plan to do for their supporters. Only incompetent and frankly stupid people go to vote based on a person's personality or some other factors that a person has, instead of what she is bringing to the presidential table. You see me? What she bring, what him bring to the table is the most important things you should be asking yourself. And whatever he or she is bringing should be something you desire. No, my lions, remember, we aren't idiots and we don't follow others. We set our own trend. They say knowledge is power, but I say that knowledge with action and implementation is the real power, brethren.
I think we approach politics too much from a personal preference standpoint. Elections are business, and it is the business of choosing who you want to carry on the business of the country.
That's the question I just asked you.
The business of oppression.
Let her finish. Okay.
Hold on. And the business of liberation. So when you say which one, it's not about which one. You meet with both of them. I don't have any loyalty to Kamala Harris. I don't have any loyalty to Donald Trump. They not my friends. Neither both of them have been in the White House for 4 years, and neither one of them did anything for black people. So this ain't got nothing to do with personal preference. This is business. We have to learn to take our emotions out of this. This is not emotional. We must engage in non-emotional strategic thinking. Let me say that again. Non-emotional strategic thinking, not emotional politics and identity politics. I want to meet with both of them. Both of them.
Hold tight, me gone again.